Hello everyone, and welcome to this game between Get Paper Scissors versus Dallas Asylum. This is a best of three, and this is game one of that best of three. I apologise for later on in the video. I managed to catch game two live, but I was not able to join game one, so I am watching back game one now and casting over it. So there may be some inconsistencies in the second commentary, as I'll put this one before the second game, obviously. And if it goes to a third game, well, again, that bit more inconsistent. So for game one, we start with an Arthur ban and a Merlin ban. That is pretty standard as now Merlin is open. Do expect one of these games, Arthur, to actually get through and get some playtime, but it won't be this game. Let's get the team names up and ready. As we see Dallas Asylum electing to ban out the Bacchus. Bacchus has been a very strong character in these games. So the Bacchus ban is kind of an obvious one, but it does leave an Ao Kwong open. And for Get Paper Scissors, that is a Shibalonke ban. And as we can see, the Ao Kwong automatically getting locked in. So I believe this is one of the first times Ao Kwong's actually been played. I believe he's been, yep. So this league's already had 6 games. In 5 of those games, Ao Kwong was banned outright. But with Merlin now open, I think Merlin has become more of a priority ban, and that's probably allowed the Ao Kwong to come through. As we see Get Paper Scissors picking up this Konanos for that ADC role. Konanos probably one of the most well-performing hunters currently in the game. And we will see a Discordia picked up in mid, the first time she's appearing in this league. Be interesting to see what she does. Her 2 ability, where if you manage to get more than 2 opponents in there, they start attacking each other. That could really have an effect if she managed to catch the Ao Kwong in there along with maybe their ADC. But as we see, Dallas Asylum electing to go for the Terra and Hera combination. Terra, very highly valued support at the moment. She's not actually been played in the solo lane to my knowledge yet, but it is a role she is able to play, but it's just not something we've seen yet. So I wonder if she'll manage to find her way into that solo role. A flex pick as well, so it's not quite clear. Hera is definitely going mid to battle this Discordia though. And Get Paper Scissors electing to go for the Pele, which will probably be the jungle. We have seen Pele can be played in the solo lane. It's not as common, but she is a very strong character. If you go into Soul Eater, her sustain is insane, and it's very hard to do more damage than she can heal in that solo lane. As we come to the next sort of round of bans, who would I be expecting to see here? I'd expect Dallas Asylum to sort of ban out supports if that Terra is going into support lane. And Get Paper Scissors immediately targeting in the Jingwei as a counter to Third. Jingwei has been played 2 times in this league so far, with a win percentage of 50%. So, again, a very strong character. I do like her crits build. It's something quite different in this meta. It also does force your counterpart to think how they're going to build, but Zern isn't really built around those crits. He is more a basic attack character going into attack speed rather than those crit items. But with that speed potion, that 6th item can actually be a crit item to give him that extra bit of damage. As we see the Vimana band and also the Odin ban. Interesting. And there is also the Geb ban on the side of Dallas Asylum. Again, targeting out the sports. So this will be an Achilles and will probably picked up in the solo lane. Achilles and Pele do have that flexibility where they could be played either in the jungle or the solo lane, so possibly they could be switched around. With the Osiris being hovered over by Dallas Asylum. Osiris, another god who has yet been picked up in this league so far. And the Hachi Man, also another god yet to be used in this league. With his long-range auto attacks, he can out-pressure lane, and they do get the RTO as support. Again, another highly picked up support. Not so much in the Classic League, but I believe she's been played at least 6 times across both the Classic and the Premier League. As we will head into the game. So I do like the draft for Geb Paper Scissors. They seem to have a lot of stuns available, whereas Dallas Asylum appears to be more based around damage. Terra does have a lot of CC in her kit, which could come into play, but she does have that Hera and the Hachi Man to really build out damage, and Alcon can also, anyone out of position, he can usually win those one-on-ones. As we get set up to go into game, we'll have a quick look which way around. Yep, and it looks like Achilles is going into that solo position. I'm not expecting any really invade start here. I'm expecting a pretty standard start where the jungler and mid start at the speed camp. Achilles might be able to pressure out speed and try and put the jungle behind. But against an Osiris, I don't particularly fancy him giving up lane. Osiris electing to go into tier 1 boots instead of maxing out on the health potions. That might give him a slight advantage in the early game. But if he is taking a lot of poke from the Achilles, that could put him behind, so we'll have to be a little bit careful with that. Also interesting to note, the Ao Kuang has elected to go beads instead of teleport to close the distance. Ao Kuang does have his one ability which does allow him to get in quite close to the enemy, which is like a short teleport. So the beads just allows him to confirm those kills if he is trying to get CC'd out by Discordia, Sir and Artios. There is a lot of CC on that team. As we are having a look, they are looking at the Terra. Terra managing to get the stun out. I believe Artio and Hachiman will get away, but they lose a lot of lane pressure here. As we will come over to the mid lane, there seems to be a fight coming around the mid camps. Ao Kuang going after the Pele, putting a lot of damage. Pele down to about 200 health. Ao Kuang taking the XP from the mid camps. And I believe that'll be it. Purple was invaded on the Duo side, which was to be expected as they were pushed out very early on. RTO just again applying that pressure on the duo lane, as they will now drop to get their purple buff and should manage to come back to lane at level 3. Ao Kuang going for an adventurous gank on this Discordia. Will they manage to pick up the Pele? Yes, they do. Auto attack, finishing off that kill, and that will be first blood to Dallas Asylum. Hachi electing to dash in, but I think he will be okay. His dash does have a stun mechanic on it, so if he's able to hit that stun, it might allow him to set up a kill or even set up Terra stun to start a bit of a CC chain. And to go over to my favourite lane, the solo lane, where it's just hit each other until something happens. Cyrus seems to just be ahead on the level front. I would expect as a Berserker shield out of the Osiris and a Gladiator shield out of the Achilles. Just to keep this lane sort of even, but maybe Osiris will rush boots as he's already got that tier 1. Pele is around this Osiris looking. I don't know if he has spotted her yet. I think she would just take out the totem as we have a fight in the duo lane over the purple buff. Hachi landing those autos on the RTO. RTO going in. Getting stunned out by the Terra. Shell having to be popped. But they should be able to get away, but Ao Kuang is rotating in. And they managed to stun him out before any damage can be done, but they need to be careful with the Hera rotating. The Hera has hit 5, Hera should have her ult up. As, yep, there comes the Argus down. Will the Argus manage to do enough damage to get the kill? No. And Hera very close to losing her own life to the CERN.
I didn't expect such ferocity.
It will be even out as Discordia now coming across. Discordia does have ult. Will just help clear out the wave. As this we see Achilles backing in solo lane. They need to be a bit careful here. Pele is here. This is a 3-on-1, possibly a 4-on-1 if they get caught out, but nope, she's just going back to find farm. And Achilles did come back with that Gladiator shield, which is 10% cooldown for him and healing and mana on hits of abilities. We can see Discordia seems to have a bit of advantage in the mid lane. It being about, well, yeah, now being about 15 stacks ahead on that Mage's Blessing. Hera seems to be losing a lot of creeps to that wave, or possibly even her Ao Kuang jungler came and cleared up as she had to back for mana. Don't believe there'll be a fight over Aqua. I think these will go down, yep, before Hera gets the chance to engage, but Pele is looking towards the Hera. But we'll go back and confirm the red buff, but they might rotate in on her. She doesn't know they're coming. Ao Kuang piss off a bit of damage. Does manage to get that red buff, but down to 200 health, having to ult out. I believe that was Ao Kuang ult as well. So ult for ult, but Ao Kuang might be in trouble here, having to beads away. Both are very low health, but Hera hasn't. Discordia does not really have any abilities up to chase this. Unfortunately, I think if she may have gone for that red buff first before using abilities, she might have got that kill. But again, it was a 2-on-1 fight, so it was a bit of a difficult call to make that decision. And in the solo lane, we do see the Osiris has Let's Go boots first, as there is a bit more of a fighting duo. RTO trying to go on that Hera. At the moment, both hunters have beads up. Both guardians do have the shells available. So without rotation, I don't expect to see much here. Mid camps fall to the way of Get Paper Scissors. And with Get Paper Scissors getting those early wards out, they should be able to see what's coming, but there might be a speed buff invade. No, he's just going to take those XP camps at the back. Well, we see a gank on the solo lane. Stun is good and it should allow him to get away. But Pele is rotating him. We should be able to find this Ao Kuang. Her ult is up if she needs it. No, just let her go. But Hera might be in a bit of trouble in the mid lane. And does go down to the RTO. This could be a speed invade. Pele doesn't know Terra is behind. Will she get the speed buff? She does manage to steal the speed buff. And with superior movement speed because of her boots online and her passive and free ability, she will get away from that Terra as she tries to gank this Osiris, and Osiris goes down. And he will also lose the blue buff. Not the worst deal for Osiris, as he is a basic attack character rather than ability based. Terra does get the stun on Cern. I don't think there's going to be much follow up here. She does get the follow up stun. The Hachi is just clearing away. He would have to ult to close this gap, but even if he ulted, I don't think the kill's available for them. Ao Kuang is rotating now. And we seem to have a split across the map. Discordia about half HP in mid. Gets stunned out by this Terra. Ao Kuang is behind on that red buff. As they do go in, she gets stunned. Ao Kuang, oh, is used up, but it doesn't matter. The killer is taken. But can he get turned on by the Pele? She gets transformed by that Hera 2 ability and is forced to back out. And the Gold Fury is being started up by Dallas Asylum. RTO is here, but they will just leash it for the moment. Interesting, they had Oracle, so they did know the ward was on it, but still electing to see if they could do it, as Pele does try and dive this Hera in mid, but not able to find any meaningful damage. Achilles is quite low. Solo laner. Cyrus did seem to use his ult. Achilles still has his ult available, and it is good for the execute. And that is a huge win. Cyrus just about respawning in 17 seconds will respawn. Will not have a teleport, but will Alcon manage to find this return kill? As Hachiman is picked up in the duo lane. Will Terra also fall? Nope, I think she's going for the the shell has to be used, and she will also fall trying to find that return kill. Will this be a possible gold fury for Get Paper Scissors? As Cyrus is rotating to this left lane. RTO will go for this red buff. Discordia is quite far back. She is on her own here. Don't think she would have been able to get the kill, but getting the bees out of the Alcon is a huge victory there. Again, Cyrus still on the left side of the map. His teleport's not going to be up for 15 seconds. They are going to lose this T1 tower in solo. With this pressure, can they get the T1 in mid or even possibly look towards the Gold Fury as Alcon is going in on Pele? This is a 2-on-1 fight. He gets stunned out by the Achilles, having to ult to try and save himself. The execute just misses. He does get stunned out by the Terra. Cyrus managing to pick up the Pele in the back line, but will Terra keep diving to try and get this kill? Sorry. Achilles dives to get the kill on the Alcon. Will it cost him his life? Argus and the rotation from Cyrus is good, but Terra managing to find the final hit of damage. Fight's still going on. I think this is them having to look. They should look for the Gold Fury here. CERN is rotating across. Just they should know where he's not actually gone over a ward yet. They should know he's around, but the damage from Dallas Asylum should be enough to close this out. Hachi's position is quite good. It stops that CERN's attack coming in. CERN does battle, and Dallas Asylum do get the Gold Fury. But we'll lose the Hachi man to the Pele, and will Pele manage to pick up this Osiris? No, Alcon is covering. And will also manage to confirm the red buff for his team. So far, Get Paper Scissors have taken a T1 in the solo lane, but lost a Gold Fury to Dallas Asylum, which puts the gold about 1,300 apart. As we see Alcon in trouble in the mid lane, having to ult to get a bit of separation. Will he get away? Discordia's stun is good, and Alcon will fall. Four members of Get Paper Scissors on this side. CERN left to his own devices in the left lane. Will he be able to get that T1 for his team as they start up the Pyromancer? Achilles going in, just doing a bit of poke to Osiris, managing to clear the wave. As we have a look at the sort of player damage, it's putting out a lot of the team damage. Of course, the solo laners just building up their damage numbers, hitting each other with abilities. CERN about half HP. Needs to be a bit careful. He does have 3 levels on the Hachi man. Those 3 levels equate to I think a little bit of extra attack speed. I think the attack speed might be about even because he's gone for the Rune Forge Rush. Again, I really like that build on Sun.
Attack here!
But not having lifesteal, he does not have the sustain to really outbox this Hatchman, as Ao Kwong does pick up a kill in the solo lane. Will they manage to find the Pele? Scored it incoming in, good stun. Oh, just being blocked by that Terror. Stun is good by Terror, but will the Ao Kwong fall to the Pele? Will the Pele fall to the Ao Kwong? Good stun by Terror, and she manages to finish off the Pele. Ao Kwong in the background. Scordia could be in a bit of trouble, but no, manages to kill the Ao Kwong, but gets killed by the Ao Kwong's dragons that was still waiting for that damage to come through. We do see the Achilles teleport, so this will be a 3-on-2 fight, but with one healthier member of Get Paper Scissors, they should be able to hold this lane. As Dallas Asylum go back into the jungle and try to farm. They might manage to push mid lane up a little bit. There is a bit of a minion wave in there to help them out. RTO, is she going to go into the mid lane, try and contest this? Yeah, she should be fine as Terra's decided to go for her red buff. So Pele about halfway there to stacking that Soul Reaver up. Once that comes online, her sustain is a lot better. Electing to go to the Crusher as first item. That Crusher does give you a bit of attack speed and a lot of damage as we go into the duo lane. Hatchman really pushed out by this Cern. Cern appearing to be in his damaging stance rather than the lifesteal stance. Which, yes, of course, puts out more damage as we do have a fight in mid. Ao Kwong gets stunned out by the RTO. Will he get stunned out again? No. And Cern does find that kill on the Hatchman and gets the T1 tower in the duo lane. Gold Fury about 20 seconds away from spawning. I think they need to group up, push mid, then drop for the Gold Fury. Cern will be coming back. Have any of them got a lot? Hera, about 2,500 gold in hand. That is a whole item in Hera's kit. Which she might go into that Soul Reaver, which takes about 1,300 or 400 out of the build, and that should still be a T2 of another item as Discordia is being harassed by the Argus. Pele managing to get the Ao Kwong. Managing to get the Discordia. The fight is still coming in, but now the damaging is coming in. Pele managing to get the Hera. Will they manage to get the Terror as well? Yes, they do. Can they get the Osiris? Hatchman is providing those auto attacks. I believe Osiris ult was used up in that fight and managed to anti-heal them while they were in the tower, so they had to back off. That tower damage is very strong, especially on the assassin, but they will manage to probably get the speed buff invaded. Pyromancer close to spawning again. Yep, and that seems to be the call by Get Paper Scissors. Again, Get Paper Scissors with the superior ward coverage. Everyone going after the Cern in the mid. Cern having to dash away. Oof. Discordia hitting with that too. Ao Kwong having to beat it because he didn't want to take out his Osiris. So although I said Get Paper Scissors had a lot of the ward coverage, it appears the timers on those wards have just run out. So we see Hera electing to go into the Book of Thoth as a, I guess, third item. It's interesting. It's quite late to start a stacking item. Whether that will pay off or not, we will see in the long run. But especially now when her team are sort of all fighting around mid, it's going to be very hard to confirm that she's the one getting the last hits on those stacks. But it also looks like she appears to be building into that Gem of Isolation. That should help out her team, especially the Alquang, who's trying to dive that back line and get auto attacks off. But, yep, Terra just grouping up those minions. Leave the one minion running after you. You are trying to build stacks, but that's fine. I mean, you might get it eventually. Nope, he'll just go back into lane as Cern is looking for Hatchman in the middle. We will keep following the fight around Fire Giant. I believe this is just to put a ward down around Fire Giant. All teams grouped up, Cern just in the back line. Hachi still not managed to fully stack that Devo's Gauntlet. Cyrus managed to stun 2, Discordia hitting 2 with that 2 ability. Hera does fall to the Pele. Pele keeps chasing that back line. Hatchman forced into his ult. Pele slowed by the Alquang. I believe that will be all for the moment. Will they get this T1 to fall? Yes, they do. Cyrus in the middle of no man's land does get the ult way to dash out, but I don't think it'll be enough. He should fall here and does fall to the Cern. And Cyrus also falling. That was a clean fight. This is a 5-on-1 as they rush down the T1 in mid. We've just Hachi defending, but no, Terra and Hera about to spawn. I believe the call may be for the Fire Giant. Will they be able to burn it quick enough? They should be able to. The damage coming out of these plays is pretty good at the moment. Not being the enhanced Fire Giant, yeah, they should be able to get this pretty quickly. And yep, that Asylum rotating onto the gold side of the map. That should be just about spawning. Unfortunately, the spectator's timer seems to be a little bit off before spawn, and they do get the Fire Giant. And Hachi electing to go split this buff instead of trying to do Gold Fury. He has got the Devo Gauntlets online. He should have been able to solo that at this stage of the game, and Get Paper Scissors are beginning to rotate towards that Gold Fury, whether it's just to get XP from their camps, or are they gonna look at this Primal Fury? Yep, Primal Fury started out, Alquang in the background. And that lets Asylum somehow steal it. The Alquang picking up the Cern in the backline, Pele having to ult away, Hachiman chasing after her. But we will keep following this Alquang, see if he can pick up this kill. Having to beads, but then they get stunned out. Blinks onto the Discordia, Discordia dashes past. Alquang does manage to pick up the kill. I think Pele is getting pinged on the map. She is very low health. She is running into the team. Dashing into that T2 for safety. Hera going after her. Argus also there. I don't believe she'll get out of this. Nope, and she falls to the Alquang. Terra ult is there, but Hachiman does fall to the Achilles. Achilles is chasing after the Hera. Gets stunned out. Alquang also here. To the RTO. Double stun. I believe this artillery will fall. Nope, I think she managed to get away. Osiris could be in a bit of trouble. This is a 4-on-1 fight. There is 2 low members. Will he be able to get one of them, or is he just going to back away to the safety of the tower? As Ao Huang with about 3k gold in hand, just about spending that now. Achilles also with the 3k gold in hand, but he's still chasing down these kills over here. What did Ao Huang pick up? He is going towards that Soul Reaver by the looks of it. Could possibly be a Polynomicon, but Ao Huang doesn't really need that double lifesteal with his passive. Pyromancer started up by the Ao Huang. It should be an easy solo. Pele is coming in. Pele knows he's doing it. Pele takes over the Pyromancer. Who will get it out of these two? And it is the Ao Huang for Dallas Asylum. He is very good at stealing those objectives at the moment. That is 1 Gold Fury, I believe, and 1 Pyromancer that he's just managed to steal. Admittedly, the Pyromancer he did do half the health. It's Achilles, because look at him. Achilles with that Magi's Blessing online. And Cern is pushing into this T2. Will he manage to get it before he gets rotated on by his entire team? Don't believe he'll be able to get out with his life, but he's got the T2. And Osiris does look like he's going to fall in the mid lane. Good beat, he might turn this round on the Hatchy. Pele's in this back line, trying to cause a bit of havoc, just run away. Ao Huang having to ult to try and get some separation. Sprint is activated for Dallas Asylum. Will they manage to make it back to sort of Phoenix's? Achilles ult is up. Manages to pick off the Osiris. Ao Huang dashes away. And Get Paper Scissors will push them under their Phoenix. Right tower with a sliver of HP. Wonder if it'll be a call to get this tower and then reset for Fire Giant, which will be spawning in about 20-ish seconds. If you look at the builds, I'm not quite sure about the Antil on Pele. It is a great item, it is a good counter to that Ao Huang, as it does silence him out of his abilities, but that Antil can be popped very easily by Hera or a Terra, so at this stage of the game where you're in team fights, I don't think it's worth building that Antil so late. I know it does give magical protection and cooldown, but I don't believe that's the right item. As Fire Giant is started up by Get Paper Scissors, Dallas Asylum closing down but getting distracted by taking out a ward, and I don't think they'll be able to catch up to it. That is a tough call. Gold Fury just had spawned, but I believe that's just a regular Gold Fury. It's not going to do any team much favours at this stage of the game. Yep, Dallas Asylum clearing out that ward instead of trying to go to the Fire Giant. Admit they didn't know Get Paper Scissors were on it, but it should have been expected at that stage. And I believe Get Paper Scissors grouping up around this mid lane. Achilles is in that back line. They're looking to try and pop his Magi's. Did he get the beat out of Ao Kwong? Dude, that is a huge thing. So Ao Kwong is now vulnerable to stuns, and his ability to go into that backline is severely reduced at the moment. Pele pushing up that left lane. Ao Kwong going to meet her now. Get paper scissors look to siege down their first Phoenix. Achilles going into the backline, trying to dive straight onto that Hera, managing to get the stun on the Hera. Hera's damage is coming out. They've got 3-on-1 against this Osiris. Will the Achilles fall? That is Hachiman ult, and they do get the Achilles, but they lose the Phoenix because of that focus on the Achilles. Cern managing to pick up the Hachiman, but losing his life to that Ao Kwong. Hera's shield activated and popped, and Ao Kwong picking up the Pele. This needs to be a full retreat now from Get Paper Scissors. And RTO will get picked up in this mid lane. They are fighting against fire minions. Just Discordia left. Oh, just to try and zone someone out. But just sort of dodge sideways. For that ult, I think I would have preferred it more to go across the walls and bounce across the walls, give it a bit more unpredictability rather than that straight line throw. But this is at the moment a 1v4, so there is not much she is able to do. But they will just lose the T2 for that. Fire minions should push that lane back up pretty quickly. And will Dallas Asylum look to clear out this Gold Fury to get the rotation of the next one in the cycle. As we look at the sort of player damage, Ao Kwong leading the player damage with about 25,000 damage. Next in line is Pele, so both junglers doing a lot of work. Damage numbers actually for most players are pretty high. Hachiman is lagging a little bit behind, but he is 1-5, so he has struggled to actually stay alive in these fights as Get Paper Scissors look for this Pyromancer. With no one on Dallas Asylum anywhere near this, this is absolutely free. Fire Giant not spawning for about another minute. I think they will just push up the waves. There is quite a big wave which is formed on the right hand lane. Nope, they are deciding to back and regroup for fire. Which is not the worst call. Fire Giant 30 seconds away. A bit surprised from Dallas Asylum that there is only one ward on that Hera and it is not even a sentry. They have no way of getting vision on this Fire Giant. I believe if they back now, their rotation won't be quick enough to contest it when Get Paper Scissors start it up. Whereas if you see on Get Paper Scissors, they have 3 normal wards, 3 sentry wards, and that Chalice of the Oracle, which is 2 additional wards. No, I think it's... let's have a look at the wards placed. So yeah, as you can see, the wards place seems very high for the mid lane and support for Dallas Asylum, but no one else seems to have picked up many wards. Hachiman only placing 1 ward down this whole game. Whereas Get Paper Scissors, about 10 wards each, including the ones they have in hand. So we have a fight in the mid lane. Cern ult is used up. Will they manage to pick up this kill on the Hachiman? Hachiman dashes away. He's still got an ult if he needs it. It's managing to pick up the Ao Kwong in the back line. Cyrus could be in a little bit of trouble here. Discordia. Stun is good. Phoenix just respawning. They should manage to burn this down quickly. If we look, this is a 5-on-3 fight. Do they try and take it and end the game right here? Yep, it looks like they're going in. Cern finding that double kill. This is now a 5 versus 1. This should be game as Osiris does fall and the Titan will fall.
Double kill.
So that was a very snowball last fight. Just seemed to get pick after pick and just keep running down that mid lane. I don't think Dallas Asylum were grouped up enough. Or I think they were initially grouped up, but then they retreated at different sort of intervals. And they didn't retreat together, which allowed Get Paper Scissors just to pick them off one by one. As we can see, Cern really having a good game here with 9 kills to 2 deaths. I believe that's probably reflected in those damage numbers as well, picking up 27,000 player damage. Also with that, along with the Pele around the same amount, with a 7-6 KD. Again, the Hatchiman seemed to be really struggling to put out that damage output. He did get there towards the end of the game, managing to catch up a little bit, but still only 15,000 player damage for him, which is pretty much half the other ADC who went 9 and 2. So, wow, this was a great game 1. I hope you look forward to game 2. That's right. Okay, we're back. We've managed to join this set as in the second game. So that's all set up. So Dallas Asylum have banned out the Bacchus and the King Arthur, whereas Get Paper Scissors have elected to ban out the Shibalonke and the Merlin. Which, he gets picked up again. It's the Alquan coming through in that jungle. I believe he was picked up in game 1 as well. I only caught the tail end of game 1. And for Get Paper Scissors, they're picking up the Serenus and the Achilles. An interesting picks. And Dishwater seems to be hovering over this Agni pick. As we've seen in the games earlier, that was a very, very effective god. But will he lock it in? Also, a very, very good ADC was the Rammer. That seems to be more in favour of the Jingwei, possibly trying to out-crit the Cern, who the lifesteal on Cern isn't to be underestimated. It can really heal him back up in those boxing fights. And we do get the Agni locked in. And the Rammer as well. So, Get Paper Scissors did win that first game. They did pick a Discordia mid. I wonder if that will be the same pick here, or will they save it for another slot and Discordia might have the possibility of being banned out. And they will pick up an RTO, or hover over it at least. And that RTO is now locked in. So that's a very tank-heavy side of the picks and bans at the moment for Get Paper Scissors. The RTO with that long-range stun able to sort of damage Ao Kwong and keep him at bay. Not sure if her Circle Cripple is enough to stop an Agni dash though, but we might be able to see that in action a bit in the game. So, next stage of bans, we have a Pele banned out and a Vamana banned out. Expecting a Mage to be banned out for Dallas Asylum, but I think it's Get Paper Scissors choosing the next ban. So at the moment it's hard to really tell who's in a commanding position. All we've got is the head-to-head ADC lane. We know that CERN's going to have the RTO support, I'd imagine, with Achilles going in the solo lane. Maybe we see a Rune Forge on CERN, as RTO can really help proc that Rune Forge passive, as we have a Cerberus banned out for Get Paper Scissors. Followed by the Hera ban for Dallas Asylum, leaving the Discordia open as it was in the first game. The last tail end of the game really did pick up a little bit of it. Discordia did seem to be doing a lot of damage, so I guess Dishwater is hoping with that Agni he can really out-pressure anything that comes out of Get Paper Scissors. Also, I imagine their jungler is still to be picked up, and it does look like Tuska's being hovered over and will be locked in. Interesting pick. The global ultimate does give Rat more pressure, and the stun on the Acorn Blast would apply pressure to that Agni, but the Ao Kwong I think can get away, and the stealth on the Ao Kwong is a bit more of an advantage in my opinion than the Ratatuska. But anyway, as we have the Odin hovering over to Dallas Asylum. Odin locked in, so that's a good amount of anti-heal in the ultimate blocking all healing if they're caught inside that ring, which will counteract pretty much all four of those gods at the moment. And the Naja also being locked in. I would imagine this is probably going to be a Naja support, Odin in the solo lane. But those two are interchangeable, or even an Ao Kwong can go into the solo lane with the Naja jungle. I would expect a kind of standard placement for both of these gods, but that is a very good pick. And the final pick will be that Scylla coming into the mid lane. Looks like that Odin may possibly be going into the jungle. Naja looks like to be the support. but this team is using a sub of Bayard. Oh no, sorry, of Glacier 88 is the sub in this team, so I don't know if they're going to switch around roles to accommodate having to bring in the substitute. We'll just have to see once we're in game. Overall, I think I like Get Paper Scissors draft pick a little bit more. It will all sort of depend on that old Odino, and if that is in the jungle, who is the counter to Odin to pick up the relic that allows them to go through the no, I can't remember what it's called right now. Apologies for that. But yeah, so if Odin manages, if it is Odin in the jungle, as I think it is based on the players, that Odin into Agni bombs and you're not able to escape will be a lot of damage. They have got Scylla who can get out using their free because that's not affected by the wall, but everyone else, apart from Rat if he expends his ult, is going to be stuck in that cage. It'll be interesting to see how this Najar is sort of transitioned into the support role. Because Najar is designed to do a lot of poke damage with the early ring toss. But with two gods who can sort of self-heal with the RTO and CERN, that early poke isn't going to be as effective. And we sort of have a repeat matchup from earlier where we had Scylla being played into Agni. In that earlier game, Scylla was dominated by the Agni. But it will depend if Scylla can get some early pressure on the Agni, possibly hit 5 before the Agni. If he goes Bancross, she has the early kill potential, or she can play it more safe and go into a couple of other builds. But we'll see once we're sort of in-game, ready to see where this all plays out. Again, we also need to look out for the Rat start. If he rushes Acorn Blast, or does he just go for the standard jungle build? The rushed Acorn would be a start I'd like to see actually. See if they can really put that Agni behind. Just wait to see what does Asylum do. Dishwater will be mid. It's a Hunter. Seems Ao Kwong is going into the jungle, which will mean Odin solo, I believe. So they have done a little bit of a switch of the roles to accommodate the sub. Interesting to note Rat not picking up Assassin's Blessing and only having 2 pots. I've not seen this actual start, but that means any damage he takes off the jungle, he's not really going to heal up until he gets his Acorn to level 3 where his abilities start healing him. But I don't think he's got enough of the rotation to keep us going. I'm sure it's something he's practiced in scrims or in online matches, so we'll just have to see how it plays out. As we see the Scylla crush over the wall, She'll get all that experience and manage to make it to wave before the Agni. As we look in duo lane. Seems like RTO Cern has really pressured out the Naja rammer. Naja down to about 100 HP. But she should be able to heal that up with health potions, and this lane seems to be going very well for Get Paper Scissors. Agni's just dashed across the mid lane camp before we get picked up by the rat. Link is in from the Alquang, going after the rat, and that will be first blood. Will he get the double kill on the Scylla? Nope, but Agni does pick up the second kill, and this will be an invaded the red buff. We check purple buff. That was invaded successfully, but Cern is low. They need to be careful with their pathing because they've got mid and jungle rotating up. It's been pointed out on the map where they are. RTO could be in trouble here. And she does fall. It's a great start by Status Asylum. Zen just seems to be waiting for her. He goes in on the Agni. Can't provide any finishing touches. But he does manage to secure his buff at least. The RTO is rotating, so this should be a pretty safe lane as they just go back to farming. Get Paper Scissors taking the left mid camps, right mid camps are up if they wanted to rotate. Just checking their red buff, the red buff's already down. And as we can see, the Scylla's elected to go into Mage's Blessing and beginning to work onto Chronos Pendant, which will give her a lot more cooldowns, but it means the early game kill potential is a lot less than if you went into that Bancroft start.
Slow down.
Whereas Agni seems to be going into Mage's Blessing to the good Foff. There is a gank in the solo lane. Odin is pretty low. I think this is just his only Achilles out. But they need to be careful here. If he manages to get a stun off, this could be a double kill. The rat is rotating in. Rat dashes. Can't find the stun. But there is a lot of minions about to go into that tower, which, unless Odin uses his bird bomb, would mean a lot of lost XP as Alquang is attacking Scylla in the mid lane. Using that big AoE to keep away the Alquang, but the Alquang will take her red buff in return for that. Things slowly slide in the favour of Dallas Asylum. This might be a bit dangerous for the Alquang going for the purple buff. But he does pick it up. And that will go on to the Naja. Rat dashes in, gets the stun on. The ADC does try and extend their protection. Sprint is popped. Aegis also down, but they managed to pick up the kill on the rammer. Charts, not really much XP difference in their hand, if anything. What is interesting to note, Naja carrying around 1800 gold. The CERN carrying around 1750. So I think Najar's going to back now and get boots. But it's a question of when will the CERN back. It's probably going to, like I said, looks like a Runeforge Hammer rush, which is very nice to see. Whereas Rammet electing to go into stacking those Devourer's Gauntlets. If we have a quick look, he's about 150 away from getting the tier 3 of that to start getting the stacking item, so I imagine they should both back at the same time. As Rat dashes in on the Alquang, who's trying to invade the red buff. Manages to save the red buff for the Scylla, I think. As the fight continues. And they will just clear up the mid camps. But Odin has rotated over with an ultimate. Again, Scylla not the best target for that ultimate as she hasn't escaped from it. Achilles could be in trouble here. He's just proxying with Alquang rotating. He has got an ult to escape if he needs it. He does not need it. He picks up the Alquang. Will he manage to get the Odin as well? The bomb down as Narshal's gone up in the air. The Agni bomb not able to find target, but Narshal can clean up. The Sash managing to just clip the Scylla before she can get away. As Odin just about got away with it, but again the Alquang is rotating towards this Achilles. He has got an execute up, Achilles does not have beads, and that is a dead Achilles. But Rat does rotate over. Didn't have the range to find the Odin, but we'll get the XP from this wave. So Solo needs to be a bit more careful. Odin seems to be about a level behind the Achilles. Achilles with the teleport up, so he will get to lane and pretty much keep that level lead. Agni also managing to pull a level ahead of the Scylla. What's interesting about this Agni versus Scylla game is the previous Scylla went ages to try and stop the Agni bombs, while this one has elected to go for the beads, which have just come off cooldown now, so shouldn't be too worried about fighting this. Still in trouble, just being kept under his tower. But that tower's not got a lot of health. Clear is good, but he is going to run out of mana sooner or later. Unless he can confirm this blue buff. Which he should be able to do with Alquang rotating over. They might even be able to pick up the kill on the Achilles. Najar is also here. Good ult by Odin. The Rat is coming from the mid lane. They do pick up the Odin. Will the Rat find anything? Jumping into the middle, trying to get stun on Najar. See that in the ult. Will you be able to find it on the way down? No.
Killing spree.
And Alquang does pick up the Scylla in the mid lane. Rat getting chased by the Naja. Stunning out the Naja. Picking up the kill. But the Agni also picking up the Rat. This is a Gold Fury attempt. They've not got it warded. They'll invade the red buff. Get Paper Scissors do have a ward here if they decide to start this up. It seems like they will. Cern has an ult to try and steal this RTO. He's got stance switch, but she's very tanky and can do a lot of damage. I think she's coming in to try and steal this. Dallas Asylum do manage to confirm the Gold Fury, but lose Dishwater out. And Get Paper Scissors will also pick up that T1 in the right hand lane. Ramen needs to be careful here. He's about a level and a half underneath the Cern. Rat was around here, but decided to back off to get those oracles. Scylla could be in trouble here with the Odin gank. Bomb is good, but the escape is good from the Scylla. Gong possibly looking for this Cern, but I think Cern knows he's coming. There's not anything in the jungle really up for the Alcon to get at the moment. As Naja is in the middle lane, she does get hit by a Scylla crush, does get rooted. Scylla roll, just off the mark, but will get picked up by the Achilles. Alcon gets an ult off, takes out the RTO. Will be going, or they back off. And they just back off looking to farm. Again, both supports down, 1-for-1 trade. It seems like the Naja was caught out of position as the Pyromancer has started up. I don't think they will get up. I think they'll force a fight, and Geb does fall to the Achilles. Dallas Asylum do manage to secure the Pyromancer. Do they manage to pick up a return kill? Yes, they will. Again, the 1-for-1 trade, but they managed to pick up the objective, so overall win for Dallas Asylum on that engagement. Scylla is low health in mid, and I think she's just gone over a ward. I think she'll be okay. Cern's in trouble. Naja has rotated over. Naja does not quite have the ult up yet, but don't think she'll need it. I think they've got this. And Naja picking up the kill. Going 3, 2 and 4 on the support.
Rampage.
As Scylla does fall to mid to the Alcon. If they can pick up the Rat here, they can possibly look for a tower as Naja does ult, but Rat just ults away. Would say to safety, but Alquang is tracking the movement. Jump into mid lane. Again, as we look at the player damage, the Scylla versus Agni Scylla on the low end of 1500 player damage. Not quite really built any penetration online. This is going to be a rotation onto the Achilles or even the Rat Tusker. Rat beads were down in the last engagement. Naja does still have an ult. It's a good stun. Naja does take up the Achilles. The bird bomb finds the Rat. Will they clean up the kill? slightly mistimed the ult from the Alcron, taking Achilles out of the range of the Agni bombs that were coming down, and he will get away because of it. Rama could be in trouble in the left lane. RTO just swiping, minions are coming in to tank this tower.
Slow down.
They will just back off with Gold Fury spawning in about 20 seconds. Ward placed on the side for Dallas Elysium. Asylum. And Oracles will be split. Naja going in after the turn. Again, not having a no up, but if he can burn those beads when the ult's not available, that is a huge win. But Rama very much out of position here. Rat dashes in, does get the stun. Achilles also Aegis is used. He's following up with stun, and Rama will fall. Pushed up way too high, presuming he knew the whole team is around the Gold Fury. And this might be an only Fury for Get Paper Scissors, because that Rama pushed up too high. Naja is around looking for it. We have Ao Kuang trying to go around the back. Keep an eye on the Ao Kuang. And Ao Kuang does manage to steal it.
Shut down.
That was an interesting way to lose the Gold Fury. I believe there was a ward up and Ao Kuang would have run over a ward. So they knew he was there. They just thought they probably had the damage to secure it, but no, I think Ao Kuang manages to steal it with his 2 ability. So we can see that swing keeps Dallas Asylum at a nice 3.5k lead and about 3.8 on the experience. As we see Agni about 2k gold in hand. Naja with 3,000 gold in hand. Odin Ring is good. Will they manage to pick up the kills? No, Agni backed off, and I'm not entirely sure why, but fights reset. Both Naja and Odin with huge amounts of gold in their hand. That's enough to get an item and a half. Odin probably will complete that breastplate of Valor and get... I'm not sure what his next item will be. As Ao Kuang blinks in and just finishes off that T2 tower on the left hand side. Odin with 4k gold in hand, still not backing, still farming. It's going to be a lot of gold to spend. This Odin is about to get very powerful or very tanky. I think he'll secure the mid wave first. He'll probably look to back. I would imagine there's going to be a ward fight around Fire Giant. The only ward out there at the moment is from Get Paper Scissors. But both Odin and Naja are still not backed, and here we go, finally the Odin backs. Let's see, pick up. So yeah, he does finish off the breastplate of Valor. He should be able to get another item totally online. It is a Mantle of Discord. A lot of protection, I think it's 60 each. There is a silence if you go below a certain threshold of health. And of course, the most important thing for Odin, if he's trying to use that ring as much as possible, is there is a 10% cooldown on that item. Cern just takes the T1 and keeps pushing up this duo lane. As Naja in a little bit of trouble trying to put some wards out and just gets zoned out. Get Paper Scissors will start up this Pyromancer. And they should get it for free unless Naja manages to get a ring toss which steals this. Nope, get Paper Scissors and do manage to secure it. Lose the Scylla down to the Alquang. Odin does come in, manages to get the cage in. One Agni Bomb is used in that cage. And Cern could be in trouble in the mid lane. Does have a dash away. But we do have the Phantom Veil, which is now on cooldown for at least 2 minutes. And Cern is picked up in the mid lane. Thank you for the host, SML Gilly. Very much appreciated. So, Gold Fury about to spawn. Again, just farming up the waves. Naja about 2k in hand, so we'll probably go back after this Gold Fury. Achilles might push that wave down and then go back with that 2.5k in hand. As we see, Dallas Asylum pretty much getting the Gold Fury for free. Is Alquang out of position, or is he going to manage to turn? Oh, it's a level 19 Alquang versus a level 16 Rat. Odin is coming in. The dash is down. Odin Blink is down, so the chase will not be able to happen. As we have a look, Alquang is on 9 and 2. Not quite the most player damage across the board, but pretty up there. What's surprising is Naja building tank being third top on the player damage charts. And the Odin cage is down. I think that would just be to zone out the Achilles, but the Rat ult is incoming. Alquang managing to get that T2 on the right hand side. We'll keep following the fight in middle. Alquang slightly out of position, having to use the blink to make sure he gets away. Get Paper Scissors should know that's going to be down for about 2 minutes. As they just secure some of their jungle farm. I'm not too sure about them force splitting an XP camp. That cannot be a lot of XP for any of them. Rat dashes away. Odin is alone in mid. His team have backed off, but Agni should be able to make it back if he needs to. Get a lot of wards on the side of the Fire Giant by Get Paper Scissors. Not too many out there from Dallas Asylum. But they have the most important point warded, the Fire Giant.
I don't think they're going to be doing it. I think they're just trying to bait a couple of people in to see if they can pick them off. Unfortunately for them, it was the Achilles that came in. I don't think they've got enough damage to take out the Achilles, but he does have enough damage to take them out. Alquang about half health, having to run away. The rest of Get Paper Scissors slowly coming around the corner. They will take over the ward on the Fire Giant. Drops his cage, so manages to hit the ult. Does get the beads and Aegis, and the Rat comes down to finish off Dishwater. Sidorop just off the mark. As Tio chases down these kills.
mighty sword!
This is still a 5-on-4 fight. Rammer's in the air trying to snipe. He's just off to the side, so this is actually a 5-on-3. Now it's 5-on-4 again. Rammer's back into the fight. Naja does manage to dash in, does hit the ult, forcing the beads out. They need to be careful. Agni will be back in 5 seconds. It will take him about 15 seconds to get to this fight. Zilla does pick up a kill on the Alcon. And Dallas Asylum seem to be backing away. Odin just about getting away, but Achilles ult is up. He's still chasing that back line, and there's the Agni bombs incoming. Great ult from Zilla, managing to follow up on the Sun. The Agni does kill Zilla in return. This is currently a 4-on-3 fight, and the mid tower falls. Get paper scissors. Ooh, the Agni bomb managing to secure the buff. Pyromancer is up. Gold Fury coming up in about 30 seconds. Do they grab the Pyromancer and then set up for gold, or do they try and force a fight here? I would go Pyromancer and back. That's exactly what they've done. I think Naja put in the wards, slightly aggressive. Have we got any sentry wards here? Yep. So Dallas Asylum will take control over the Fire Giant again with the ward coverage. Achilles over here, just grabbing the oracles. I don't think he'll be able to secure them. Nope, Alcon comes in and steals the Oracle. So vision for the Gold Fury is purely Dallas Asylum. As they start of this Primal Fury, there is a few members of Get Paper Scissors around. Naja is in the back line, she's out of position, but I don't think that will worry her too much. She'll be able to get out. Get paper scissors on the Gold Fury, about 1,000 health left. Will Alcon be able to steal it this time? No, he does not manage to steal it, and he cost him his life. Rat is going in the air. Rat going onto the Agni. Aegis out of the Agni. That's stunned just off the mark, but the kill is still there. That was a 3-0 team fight. And now they will look to probably clear out mid-wave. Possibly go towards Fire Giant. Odin and Naja are still up. They have now got the wards coverage on this, so Rack is doing some zoning work. Fire Giant about half, but they will drop it and turn all their attention onto the Odin. Odin has to drop his ult as a defensive measure. The Sun has managed to find a way around it. I believe that Phantom Veil was used just to get the RTR out of that cage and try and keep this chase going. They managed to get the Mantle of Discord proc, so that is now down for 90 seconds. And they restart the Fire Giant up. Keeping Naja stunned out. Naja trying to force his way through. Will he manage to get the ring toss off? He does. Will he manage to steal this? No. Get paper scissors, managed to secure the Fire Giant. And the whole of Dallas Asylum back up. They decide to just back and spend whatever gold they've managed to accrue. And there's a lot on that Naja. 2,600 on Naja. $2,000 on the CERN, which should be sent pretty much. But you can see the CERN electing to go for the Runeforge Hammer, the Ichival, as well as the Assi. He's slowly coming back on the player charts now. He's more fully built. Scylla has managed to overtake the Agni on levels, so now Agni is 2 levels behind. So Agni just needs to focus on trying to get to level 20 and not focus too much on these fights. Reminder, Get Paper Scissors do have a Fire Giant. Stun just off, but Alcon going in on the Cern. Cern having to Aegis. Rattle is good. Does it find a kill though? Can they find the Odin? He's still got the dash away. She uses now. And they will all make it away to safety. Slight misplay earlier, I guess, from the Artia using that Phantom Veil just to keep her chasing down an Odin. Whereas if they had that Phantom Veil up now, would have been able to be used in that fight and they might have been able to secure a couple of kills and push for the end of the game. But it's up now, so if that situation does occur again, they should have it under cover. Alcon used his beats. And that is a big pickup. A ADC of Rama picking up the Artio, who's the only one with that Phantom Veil. So anyone caught in this cage is caught in the cage. Achilles just trying to peel. Buys his team time to escape, but the rat has come in. Should manage to teleport out and rat will escape as well. They're not looking for the red buff. They might get the T2 in the right lane. Minions pushing that up. But I think Odin will stop that before that can happen. Now the Scylla going into a ring. I can only imagine this is a shaman's ring to sort of give her a bit more movement speed to keep away from the Ao Kuang or the Agni. A little bit of a weird item. It's not usually in a Scylla build, but interesting to see if it works out. As they do the Pyromancer. Get Paper Scissors are on the Pyromancer, just standing up. It should be uncontested. And it's just a basic Gold Fury that the Alcon is going to take in return.
The forest runs rampant.
Even with that Odin ring, they still managed to get the tier 2 and they're pushing down this lane. They know if someone's just taking the Gold, they should know it's Alcon taking the Gold Fury. They have a ward over there. But with Fire Giants falling in about 30 seconds, they don't want to risk too much. They just want to keep pushing down these lanes. Fire Giants up in 10 seconds. They should be able to make it back in time. They have got a bit of a bigger minion wave in the left lane, but I think Alquan will clear that. So if Alquan's going that way, I reckon they should try and force this Fire Giant a little bit. See the ward coverage coming out of Get Paper Scissors. They did double ward here, but that's not too bad. And they are starting up the Fire Giant. I don't think that Asylum are aware.
Nope. They either aren't aware or they've just given out for free. But either way, that's a huge win for Get Paper Scissors as they look to close out this game. Four members in the middle lane. Achilles split pushing in that right lane. Right, looking for a bit of farm. XP camps at the back just to deny a little bit more farm. I don't think they'll be able to siege without all 5 members. If they can keep them busy, Achilles might be able to really push that lane as Alcon goes to deal with that right lane. This is now a 5-on-4 fight if they take it, which they will. RTO tanking the tower, goes in. Odin ult is used defensively, but no one support into the Phoenix. Odin very low. Rat going after the Agni. Managing to find the Agni, and Achilles finding the Odin in the back line. Stern ult is good. Akwong low health. I think that was the Odysseus bow branching off and managing to get the Alcon. And this should be game. Rama is picking up a couple of kills. I don't think it's going to be enough. And that is a win for Get Paper Scissors. Then winning the set 2-0. So we look at the sort of KDAs. The Alquang did a lot of work. Odin, I feel like he set up a lot as well as Naja. I think the kills ended up being even if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 19-19. So even Scylla with pretty much the lowest player damage in her team still managing to pick up a couple of those essential kills at the end which allowed them to push. I think that Asylum not knowing that final fire giant was happening was downfall to their game. So with that, I'd like to thank you all for returning for this impromptu second game, and I'll see you next time.